Hello and welcome to Connecting Jewish Grandparents, the Grand Plan podcast. I'm thrilled that you're here joining me at how the wisdom of the Torah can enhance grandparents today and future generations. I'm recording much later in the week than I normally do. It's almost Shabbat and I haven't recorded yet because I have been in Seattle this week and seen so many people that I love. And if you're here and I haven't seen you yet, please reach out because I would love to connect. And what I'm going to give over right now, I will be sharing a version of on Shabbat afternoon at the Lippman House. So if you're going to listen to this and come to that, you could do both, but you could also say, no, I'm going to turn this off now and see Sharona in person on Shabbat afternoon. All right, so here we are at the Torah portion of Re'eh. And some of the things I'm going to talk about this week will touch back on major themes from week past, specifically what is the narrative we are sharing? What do we hear? That's from the Shema week. And what is the narrative that we are sharing? Okay, so that's where we're going to frame it. But I would say it differently as what do we see and how do we think about it? All right, with that introduction, the Torah portion begins with the words Re'eh, see, that I, this day, am going to put before you a blessing and a curse. So we already see this dichotomy, this very binary situation, blessing, curse. And I think we know which one we want. And the Torah goes on to expound that we get this blessing when we follow the mitzvot, and when we don't, we are cursed. So some people sum up the whole book of Devarim this way, and I find that hard. I find it hard in the whole question of feeling cursed, feeling punished, and how we handle that. And I think grandparents today have had the opportunity to see a major shift on how discipline works, the punishment or the blessing that children receive from adults. And probably everybody remembers a time when children were, you know, it was a very harsh punishment. Maybe not very harsh, but it has gotten more relaxed in modernity, and it's meant to be more thoughtful. That as a teacher, I'm not supposed to put children in timeout, but in a reflective space to contemplate their actions. It's kind of the same thing, but it's framed differently. So, with that, let's come back to look at the blessing and the curse and seeing both of them, right? So we're already saying it is not you will be blessed or you will be cursed. There is a choice in the matter. And the choice on face value is follow the mitzvot and you will be blessed. Don't follow them and you will be, right? You figured it out already. But that choice is already going to be an interesting thing. And that is how you see the situation, right? So we're already being told see, look, re'eh. And then how do we see the experience? So I want to share with you something that happened to me last week when I was in Israel before I got to the States. And unfortunately, my father's been unwell. So I spent the morning with him. I took him to the doctor's office, and then he wanted some pizza. So I took some cash and went out to the pizza shop. And I'll be honest, I was feeling really great because I was racking up my mitzvah points. I set out feeling all like, woohoo, look at me. This is a 2-for-1 mitzvah opportunity. I am doing Hibud I am in the best way possible. I am honoring my parents because one of the big pieces of honoring your parents is making sure they have food. And on a day-to-day way. I don't necessarily do that for my parents, but here I am. I'm gonna go bring him the hot pizza and French fries that he has asked for. And I'm doing Bikor Cholim. I'm taking care of the sick. I'm like, look at me. It's only like 300 meters to get to the pizza shop from his house. So I'm like, this is so easy. Wow. Look at how easy it is to do mitzvah. La la la. I'm also pretty hungry. And I'm excited about the pizza. And I go and I buy the pizza. They don't have any fries. I put the change of 100 shekels into my pocket and I start walking back. And I make it maybe 100 meters. And I think, oh, I should have picked up a cold drink. My father's been struggling with dehydration. How nice would it be to have a nice cold drink with his pizza? So I head back to the pizza shop. I put my hand in my pocket to pull out that crisp 100 shekel bill, and it is gone. It is not in my pocket at all. I have gone no distance, right? 100 meters, and it is gone. So I start looking up and down the street. Where is it? Where is my money? How did I lose the change? It is nowhere to be found. And I am gutted. It should have not maybe have felt as catastrophic. Did I mention I was really hangry? But I am so angry at myself for how irresponsible I have been to not be able to keep track of the change. 100 shekels is like $30. And how did I lose it? And I think about like, why did this happen? And is it because I've been really harsh on my own children that they aren't responsible enough with their money? And is this my punishment for that? And I really, without planning to get into a mindset, I am. And I think, wow, not that I'm cursed, but I really feel I am being punished for not connecting to money to my children in the right way, not being, maybe it's that I haven't been respectful to my parents, and I go down this spiral. And my kids actually come out, they help me look, money is gone. And I head back up, I give my father the pizza, I find the bottle of soda in the back of his fridge, I have some pizza. And when I'm feeling better, I think about the situation more because it's like really eating at me. But then, Re'eh, I see it differently. My parents live in a neighborhood that like just is adjacent to a very poor Hasidic community. It's like their headquarters they built, I don't know how long ago, and they ran out of funding to finish building their headquarters. So the building is there, but there's no windows installed, and it's really decrepit. And it's like it's a pretty financially sad community, but they say people are lovely. And I think about it. And I think about what the person who found the money, what 100 shekels means to them. For me, it was my change. I misplaced the change. What difference could 100 shekels make on their Shabbat table? How much is that meal transformed for them and their family? And then I think of the Hasidic tales that I've always loved, of that moment when, like the story of the diamond found inside of the fish, or that sudden moment where the money just appeared before them. And I was the conduit to make that happen. I had created a Hasidic tale. What would the person who found the money tell their family around the Shabbat table of how suddenly they were just near the pizza shop and out of nowhere, this money just fell from the heavens to them? And I went from feeling cursed and punished to feeling really blessed. I had given this opportunity to transform the Shabbat meal of a Hasidic family that was struggling. And I was so proud of myself and so grateful for this shift. Re'eh, to see, I looked at the situation differently. Now, to be honest, I still thought about what does Hashem want to teach me? And instead of thinking, is it to show me that I didn't look after it was think, this is a community that I have not thought of giving tzedakah to before. And maybe I need to reassess how I'm doing tzedakah in general. Re'eh, I looked at it differently. And I took the same situation that I thought was a curse and turned it into a blessing. And that moment of choice of how you understand the situation, Hashem is telling us that in the parasha. And people in modernity who have gone through some of the hardest moments, Viktor Frankl, Edith Edgar, they give us that same piece of information, the choice of how you understand a moment. That it isn't just meant to be, I am blessed or I am cursed. It is, how do I see this moment as a learning opportunity? Because it is, every moment is from the divine to learn something. But is that moment a blessing or a curse? That is for you to internalize and to form your narrative around. Are you the victim or are you somebody who has learned something new? And I'm saying this message, I said I'm speaking about it on Shabbat, because I believe it is a truly powerful universal message. And there is no age or person who doesn't benefit from reflecting on it. But you grandparents, the opportunity to really share this from your own life experience, to tell the stories to your children and your grandchildren, to really help them understand how transformative the framing, the seeing of a moment is to your personal experience, to their experience, and to all the outcomes, to see life's moments not as a curse, but the blessing that it might be more of a silver lining blessing, but to see it and to hold it and to appreciate it because it is for good. This verb of re'eh, to see, to look at. It's not the first time it happens in the Torah. In fact, the first time that we encounter this verb, it's the very beginning. It's in the creation story. It is when the Almighty looks at the world and he sees that it is good. It's the exact same thing, except that instead of us, how do we see it? We see what God has modeled for us, that we need to see the good in the world around us. So this week, when you have moments that are hard, because we all do, and moments that feel truly like a curse, it's the opportunity to look at our mitzvot, how we're doing them, and to see the good, to frame the narrative in a place that we can hold and appreciate and learn from. Because in everything, there is a blessing, and it's our choice to appreciate it, notice it, share it. And that's the work for you this week. Thank you for joining me in Connecting Jewish Grandparents. Please share this with others. I really appreciate you being here. And if you want to be part of the weekly newsletter, reach out to me because it's a little different and another opportunity for you. Thank you for being here.